What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful new year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you guys. God bless you. Go ahead and share this. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm super thrilled to be here and experience a new year with each and every one of you guys. Yes, it is not even the morning time, right? We are here live this evening on January 1st, 2025 together. Look, it's been a lot of things that have happened in the past 24 hours. We've overcome a huge year, a lot of gains, a lot of knowledge, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. But guess what? You made it. And for that, we must give God glory. Real quick, I have to be consistent. I love today's verse of the day, right? Isaiah 43, 18 and 19 says, but forget all that is nothing compared to what I'm going to do. For I'm about to do something new. See, I've already began. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers through the dry wasteland. Y'all, we have made it through some tough times, but I tell you that God is up to something major. And before I ever get on here, I must always give him glory, if even it's for but only a moment. So I just thank God for each of you. And before I move on, I just got to pray and say, dear Heavenly Father, bless our time together. Father God, we pray that the fruits of the Spirit are present. We rebuke every attack of the enemy, God. God, we give you glory and allow me to decrease and your presence to increase, even though we're talking about financial markets. God, we rebuke the spirit of greed and we declare that our 2025 is blessed and abundant and favored by you. And it's in the name of Jesus I do pray. I love you. We thank you. And it is so. Amen. Amen. Y'all, look, I'm not preaching tonight, but I do thank God that he is always present in our lives. So let's get right to it. Today, I want to look right at what the crystal ball is going to be looking into for 2025. I actually want to start with a little bit of crypto this afternoon. I'm such a habit of saying this morning, right? First of all, I didn't even look at the comments today. Let me do that real quick. I see a few people on here. What's up, Lewis? I see you. What's going on, Edgar? Fernando, appreciate that. I'm just a shepherd. Happy New Year to you as well. I see you, Dr. Kitchen. I just want to give y'all some love, man. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, Curtis. God bless you. Look, they're already coming in with the questions. Good morning. Good evening. How you doing, Doc? All right. So I see a few questions already coming in, but that's not what I'm here for, right? This is my time right now. All right. So we got Q&A on Friday. So make sure y'all tap in on Friday for those questions and answers. And I got you. Okay. So let's get right to it. All right. So I'm going to present my screen. We're going to go right into cryptocurrency first. Okay. Let's share the whole window here. Okay. There we go. All right. So you should see my whole window here. Now, there are a couple of crypto projects I want to talk about. The first one, I actually remember getting a question about this crypto, and I thought it was a scam, right? Virtual protocol. This thing has ran today. Like if you go look at the crypto bubbles today, you'll see that virtual is up 17.9%. It was up like almost 32% on the day, but right now a lot of things are selling off. But this thing looks absolutely beautiful, right? Right now we're looking at the 1 day time frame on the chart, but I want to jump back over to coin market cap because a lot of times, we get these questions. Okay, where can I buy this crypto or that crypto or whatever? Well, this is how you can find out, right? So where it says markets, which actually happens to be right here, these are all the different places where you can buy virtual. Now, today I did happen to buy some today on Uphold because I saw the momentum, and honestly, I kind of FOMO'd in after I started looking into what the project entails, right? One thing about this, if you click on the about, it tells you what Virtual Protocol is. It's an innovative cryptocurrency that aims to revolutionize virtual interactions through AI and metaverse protocol, right? So it has this human created plug and play gaming AIs, which is going to be something huge. We've heard Armando talk about this as a 1 billion supply. Right now, the market cap's around 446 million, and it's actually up 18% on the day. So let's go look at some TA on this thing real quick. Okay. So I just want to point out that looking at the truth on the daily, which is what you're seeing here on the bottom. We have a buy signal, but it's very overbought, okay, because this thing has been pushing today. 65-minute time frame, just peeping at the charts here, we'll see that we did kind of reject at 487 on virtual. This is creating a good buying opportunity. And why am I looking at this particular altcoin versus Bitcoin right now? I'll tell you guys that in just a few minutes. All right. So right now, this coin is actually pulling back. It's probably going to go to 463. That's a key level of support, but this is creating a buying opportunity right now. I'm not saying this is financial advice. I can't tell you what to buy or sell. Nobody's paying me to promote any cryptos or anything like that. But when I looked into this project and what it does, I saw this thing potentially run into almost $5.50 before next week, especially if the altcoin momentum continues to trickle up. And then we already know if and when President Trump comes in and signs an executive order for cryptocurrency, I do believe all of these altcoins, including Bitcoin, are going to start setting record prices. But this is one project that I'm really admiring right now, even in this little small pullback. It's fairly new. So, I mean, you won't get much data like on the weekly and monthly like you would for, say, a Bitcoin or Ethereum. But I do like the momentum that I'm seeing on this thing. And we want to be early in these projects and not trying to catch it on the last bit. All right. So I bought virtual today. Also back in on none other than QNT, right? You're going to see me going back and forth to Coin Market Cap today because, again, I want you guys to get familiar with knowing how to do your own research and things of that nature. So I'm going to go over to Coin Market Cap. Again, one key thing about investing in anything, and I love how my colleagues King and Actionaire and the CNC talk so often about discipline, right? They talk so often about discipline, extremely important. So if you have these good, healthy habits, you can go extremely far. I think I'm showing somebody's comment right now. Anyway, sorry about that. So if you have discipline, you can go extremely far. So let's just back out of virtuals. We're going to type in QNT because I want you guys to know what a lot of things are. Don't just buy something because me or somebody else is talking about it. I want you to go know what to look for. All right. So you click what is QNT, right? It's been around for a long time, but this is an overledger network in the ISO 222 ecosystem, right? Very important, which means that everything ISO 222, XRP, HBAR, all that, it funnels through this this blockchain, right? So that's why I really like it. But it was at 115 earlier today. I caught that bad boy. And look, here on the daily, we had a buy signal on the truth here for QNT. And it's just going to do the same thing that we saw it do before. Now, our weekly does have a temporary sell signal. Our monthly still has a buy, just looking at the truth. But I really like QNT. I like this project a lot. We're going to have a breakout once it goes above 147. But currently, there is a key level resistance at 124.73. Some of you may decide to look at that price as a better entry price for QNT. But again, I'm thinking about what's getting ready to happen with XRP, what's getting ready to happen with the whole entire ISO 222 ecosystem as we shift to these as a form of currency, right? I do believe that QNT is going to be absolutely vital for us, okay? So we want to see this thing break 123. Again, that's a good entry for you, and you need a short-term 136 price target. Now, currently, it looks kind of consolidated on this 4-hour time frame, but if we zoom out, again, we have a lot of upside momentum. So I really like QNT. There's a lot of support right here at $105. I wish I could have caught it again down there. I've made money off of this already this year. Last year. I made money off of this last year, and I do think it is not done. Okay. So this isn't financial advice, but this is one that I'm loving for 2025. Now, I've already kind of hinted at this next one, but HBAR USD, we talked about it in 2024. It's now 25. And I think the HBAR is going to come alive, but we are still in a buying position. Anything under 30 cents for this is like gold for us. Okay. I'm loving HBAR. I do believe HBAR is essential for ISO 222. There's a lot of good information with HBAR as far as in the news is concerned. So let's just go over here. Again, good healthy habits. Hedera HBAR rank number 18, 11.3 billion market cap. It's at 29 cents, right? check this out. We hit news. We can see all the news associated with HBARs, but they have an open brick partnership. Here's a utility-based network. But again, this thing is going to be solid and essential for ISO 222 blockchain. And again, here you can see more about it. And the DApps, again, is Hedra's most used sustainable enterprise-grade public network for decentralized economy that allows individuals and business to create powerful decentralized apps, right? But this coin is vital, again, going into the rest of this year. I want to keep saying 2025. But looking at the chart, we want to see this thing break 32 cents. That's a key level of resistance. We did pop above that at one point, had a decent high of around 39 cents. A break above 39 cents, y'all, is going to take us somewhere near 42 to 50 cents. Most of us got in around 7 cents. We're still up. It's a little bit overbought on the 3-day. Looking at the weekly time frame, we got a nice bull flag form with a heavy resistance here, as I previously stated, around 33 cents. But we will completely break out of resistance at 42 cents. So this is a gift that we're seeing, right? Everything is in a position that allows us to basically be strategic, just as we're playing chess. Okay, because it's chess, not checkers all day. Y'all see it at the bottom of the screen, right? It's chess, not checkers all day. Once we break that 42 cents, this thing is going to fly. Okay, it's not going to, you're never going to see these prices again. I'm telling you now. A lot of these cryptocurrencies, like I said, you can go on here and see where markets are and see the different places where you can buy. Don't just stop on the first page. If you don't see your exchange, you'll just keep going. Like you got it on Coinbase. I know it's on Uphold, pretty much everywhere. But I like HBAR again this year. Now, this next one is going to kind of surprise you guys. I'm actually going to start here first with this one. Ondo, ONDO. Now, this project is going to be vital in the future. I think James 73 in the CNC is pretty big on Ondo, but this thing's pulled back well off of its all-time highs recently. But just looking at the project, Ondo stands for as a beacon realm of decentralized finance, aiming to democratize access to institutional grade financial services. Okay, this is going to be vital if and when we have a crypto as a form of payment in the United States, especially if we become the crypto capital of the world. Right now, Ondo, if you go look at the technical analysis, you'll see it's not that pretty. Let's go to the chart. And you're going to hear me talk about this a lot more this year until it breaks out. And then I'm going to be like, did you listen? Right. So right now we got Ondo at $1.44. I did buy 100 of them tonight. It's still probably going to come down. It has support at $1.36, but I'm seeing a buy signal start to form on the 1-day time frame. It's not confirmed yet. It may confirm while we're sleeping tonight, but I can see Ondo testing at $1.58, and then we'll have a breakout of around 192. And then a retest of the high of $2.13. And then slowly but surely, we're going to see this thing start to really climb later in 2025. Okay. This project is also going to be very important when we start to see Bitcoin break above 150K. Because once it breaks above that level, once we know we have a strategic reserve for Bitcoin, all of these crypto tokens are going to fly, and everybody's going to be upset that they didn't listen or they didn't get in when they had the opportunity to, just like many missed out 11, 12 years ago with Bitcoin, right? So these are all buying opportunities, right? Now, there was one on the crypto bubbles that I just had to go look into. I got to give a shout out to Critical Business Solutions, aka Donovan, our December 2024 member of the month, on AI 16Z. So I took a look at this project. I'm like, what in the world is this thing? It's moving. It's been pushing all day. So I went over once again to CoinMarketCap. We're going to just pull it up. AI 16Z. Now, this is a artificial intelligence based crypto project, right? It says AI 16Z is the first venture capital firm led by AI agents. Our team of AI leaders are aiming to shape the future of AI. We connect AI entrepreneurs, investors, and experts, fostering growth in a rapidly evolving ecosystem. The singularity is approaching, and we are here to guide it forward. So this AI token was very unique and attractive in the momentum for me. So I had to do some digging to see where I can buy it, because I kept seeing it all day on the crypto bubbles. And I said, wait a minute, if this thing is moving like that, I need to find out where I can get it. All right. So um, after a little extensive navigation of my phone, I realized that on CoinMarketCap, under markets, it showed that it could be bought on Bitmart. Now, we know that MEXC is not allowed in every state in the United States. So some people are using VPNs to do it. Bitmart doesn't require that, but I have Bitmart. So I chose to just go and buy 9 of them just for fun, right? Because I didn't want to miss this run that really had already taken place. I did FOMO into it, but look at this chart, y'all. This is the 10-minute right now. Let's see what the 1 day is. I think it's all up, right? This thing's been moving since its inception, from 60 cents all the way today to a high of $2.45. 4-hour time frame right now showed a reject of $2.52. Okay, it pulling back to where it is now only created a buying opportunity, but this thing is pure gold across the board, right? So I bought 9. I may go add some more. I just had a little, a little bit of money on Bitmart because I don't use that exchange very much, but I may send something over there just so I can buy more. It's so cheap. And with the momentum of where this thing is going, how this AI project is moving, I do believe that AI 16Z is going to pump. It's going to pump, and I don't think it's going to dump, right? I think it's going to probably have a lot of sustainability as we navigate into the AI space on the stock side, which I will be talking about that in a little bit. But I think that this is going to move. Now, before I navigate over to the stock market, let's take a look at Bitcoin. All right. And then I want to point out the Bitcoin dominance. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'll move on over to the stocks and option side. Share this right now if you haven't already. We are deep in the crystal ball tonight, going down the rabbit hole. I'm just taking a look to the right here, see what we got going. Yeah, we're deep in the rabbit hole today, going through the crystal ball of crypto and stocks starting today. All right. So right now, we need to see Bitcoin break and hold above 95,000. $955.91. That would be a break of resistance. We're catching a little bounce off of support right now at 93K. We've actually been above 95 most of the day today. We had a high of around 95,344, but we can't get confident until we break that 95,000. 955.91. Okay. Now the predictive range is telling me 97K is going to be a realistic level for us to get to if we can happen to break through this level of resistance. On our 1 day time frame, we're still kind of on a down slope overall, but breaking the 7 EMA here allows me to position myself for it to possibly test my 20 EMA and go to the resistance level of 97,000. Ultimately, I don't know if we're going to get above 100K until the week of the inauguration date, right? Now let's look at the Bitcoin dominance, because the Bitcoin dominance is actually giving us a gauge of when this altcoin season is really going to start. Now we're actually bouncing a little bit more to the upside right now on Bitcoin dominance compared to where it was earlier, but it's still ultimately on a downtrend, right? The lower we see this thing possibly down to about 57% even, most of our altcoins will probably start to really rally, unless again there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve that is implemented day one of President Trump's new re-election, or whatever you want to put it, when he gets in office. So we need to see this thing come down and test that 57% even. Predictive range is telling me about 57.10. But right now, it has it's still been on a downtrend, but it's kind of consolidating at the moment. Maybe tonight we'll see it continue to pull back, and then we'll see these altcoins like what we just looked at, and even a few others such as Dogecoin and whatnot, start to really move well for us. We're at about a 51% fear and greed level for cryptocurrency. So right now, I mean, it's not, we're still in the buying opportunity. So again, don't don't be scared. Don't be scared, but also don't be greedy. Okay. We're right in the middle. Accumulate is the mindset to have when it comes to crypto. Okay. So let's take a little look at the stock market. But before we do that, of course, I do want to look at the headlines because, as we know, there was a tragedy that had taken place in New Orleans, and I want to offer prayers and thoughts to those families affected by that horrific event. The crash that killed 10. I think the last count was actually 15, but this article says 10 people were killed and several were injured, right? So my heart goes out to them. And it's unfortunate that things like that have an impact on what we do on the stock market. So those cars, I think there was also a situation with a Tesla truck that burst into flames outside of Trump's hotel in Vegas that apparently had explosives and things of that nature in it. But there's one common thing on the both of these situations: the truck in New Orleans and the truck, the cyber truck that was used for this fire, if you will, in front of Trump's tower. I think it was to send a message. Were all rented from a company called Toro. So I'm pretty sure some of you may have went and looked to see, okay, where's the ticker for Toro, right? Well, it's owned by a company, ticker symbol IAC. IAC Incorporated. This company is already been suffering. It's actually dropped a little bit even today with all of these events that have taken place. If you look at your Robinhood, you'll probably see how bad this thing is. Look, IAC is the ticker. The question we should all ask is, can it be any worse than this? And the answer should definitely be yes, because what could happen from this particular situation? Let's blow this chart up for you guys. So, one thing that definitely could happen is that there could be some type of regulation or maybe a removal of this potential car service that rental car service that people are utilizing to generate income, right? If that happens, of course, this thing could possibly fall pretty hard because that is one of the key investments of IAC. All right. So we've got to be really, really cautious with these plays. But in the event that this thing falls more, we want to see it possibly hit to about 42.57 as a confirmed entry. You may want to even look at entry around 42.66. I'm going to jump over to that 4-hour time frame real quick. But there is a lot of support right around that area. If we fall below that level, our target price needs to be around $41.58. I think everybody who is a trader, who really wants to go and conduct their own due diligence and research on these type of things is probably thinking the same thing that I'm thinking right now, that this thing is probably going to go to the dirt, right? Some type of further investigation is going to happen, some type of legal situation about IAC. But if obviously somebody knew something about this company and the volatility that they put themselves in by people being able to rent these cars. In fact, I think that somebody was telling me that they put something on Toro and they checked the location of their vehicle and it was all the way overseas. They shipped this person's vehicle to another country. So there's a lot of volatility with companies such as IAC because of their affiliation with Toro. So I'm thinking this thing is probably going to fall a little bit more. If we can go below 41.22, I'll set a price target even around $39.51. Now, the earnings are February the 18th. Considering the convenience of what Toro offers, the earnings may be a little bit different, but we can see the past 2 quarters were not lovely for IAC, maybe because of all the legal things that they've had to deal with in the past. But I think that this is one that you definitely want to keep your eye on for the rest of this week, next week, and shoot, even for the entire year, because there's a possibility that this thing could go bankrupt. Who knows? We don't know what happens. So what will happen, but watch ticker IAC. All right. Next, of course, everybody should be sitting on the edge of their seats for tomorrow morning, right? We got Tesla reporting deliveries as we see the vehicle that was that blew up in front of the Trump Tower in Vegas was a Tesla Cybertruck. and I'm still going to buy one this year with XRP gains. I don't care what anybody says. I got a Model S, so I'm Team Tesla all day. Anyways, but that's besides the point. Tesla, if they report positive or increased deliveries and demand, I guess maybe of even the robot and other things like that. I even saw that the robot is moving autonomously throughout their facility in Texas. So I think that Tesla, it's already up, I think 1.39% in after hours trading. It's at 409.50 on Robinhood charts. And right now, I'm expecting those deliveries to do well. Now, here's something else I don't know if anybody considered besides these deliveries. If the deliveries are good, earnings are also going to be good. So they have earnings on January the 22nd, 2025. Now, we go take a look and say Trady Ticks. All right, I'm giving y'all a lot of sauce on these plays that I'm about to talk about tonight. So make sure y'all have shared this. So we're going to jump right over here and look at the actual options on Tesla on the last trading session, which was Tuesday. The $350 calls expiring January the 17th, 2025 had the most dominant contracts because everybody was preparing or is preparing for what's getting ready to happen tomorrow morning with these delivery numbers. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't buying puts too. That's just saying that that's what was most dominant. So here are the top contracts. You can screenshot this if you like to. This is all about Tesla. So screenshot this as you see fit, but we can see they were buying $400 puts expiring this Friday. We have 425 puts January 10th and 410 puts 9/19/2025. Now, I'm an investor. I'm a trader. I'm a scalper. I do it all, right? Swing trade, the whole nine. So I also have a few puts on Tesla, but I'm looking in February just in case. And I bought these things out of the money because as the price goes down, I'm going to make a profit. So let's see where it could go. All right, going back to the charts. So if Tesla has some crazy guidance or something that is released, we can see Tesla possibly drop to 395.25. Okay, 395.25 would be our support. Okay, we're already at we closed at 403. We did get a little bit lower than that, down to at least $400.86 after hours on Tuesday. But I think that Tesla hopefully will give us some good information. If we can see Tesla break 410 or 411, then we're probably going to see this thing rise to almost 434, even go back to 455 and have a beautiful breakout. We go to the 1-day time frame, we can see right here that the key level or the line in the sand is actually at 424. Right around 424, 425 ish. We'll say 425.37 to be exact. And that will be a key indicator that, okay, yes, I need to buy calls and get position for what's going to happen on January the 24th, 2025, when they report earnings. Notice there's a very, very tiny gap between 450.64 and right around 451. Very small. But I think that eventually that gap will be filled. Then we're going to run. We'll have a test of 459 and a huge breakout to 494 or 493 after the earnings, especially if the deliveries are positive. So this has basically created a buying opportunity. Despite what we're seeing on the TA, I think that this is a lovely opportunity for long-term investments on Tesla. Even looking at our weekly, we know it's overbought. It does need to cool off. I've seen things still move anyway. Our monthly has a buy signal on Tesla, so I don't get too concerned with what's on the daily or the weekly all the time because markets can flip at any minute. Okay, so just as it can go up, though, it can go down. I just rather you watch it, see what happens, and react accordingly. Okay, all right. The next one I want to talk about is MicroStrategy, MSTR. All right, so if y'all saw the Bruce Leroy Last Dragon innuendo that I dropped on Instagram, right? I do believe that MicroStrategy is a good long-term play. Every dip creates a good long-term buying opportunity, but I got to give a shout out to two people in the CNC, Transformer and Jackie, right? My brother James. They have said that they believe that MicroStrategy possibly could go to 270 or even as low as $200, right? Now, again, we know that this is closely tied to Bitcoin. So if it does pull back to that level, it's going to be quick. All right. It's going to be so fast. So you never have to get ready if you stay ready if you're in that type of play. But we saw MicroStrategy bounce back off of those lows a little bit and go to 290, 299. Now, if you go look at MicroStrategy on your Robinhood right now, it's sitting at 297.70, up about 2.79% in after hours trading. So we may see MicroStrategy go up a little bit pre-market, depending on what happens with Bitcoin tonight, right? We saw that Bitcoin was consolidated. So this is good for those of you who want to get in a MicroStrategy call, say for like May or June 2025. We'll see a breakout to the upside on MicroStrategy if it goes above 335, which is a key level resistance on the daily. And then we'll possibly get back up to 400. But right now, I have to side with Jackie and Transformer in the CNC. If we fall below 283, or 282.83, then we have support right around 267.84. Actually, I have a target already set at 265.15. So I'm about $10 off from Jackie's prediction and about $65 off from Transformers prediction, because she's actually saying it can go to 200. That is at the very bottom of support on the 1-day time frame. And best believe, y'all, if that happens, folks are going to be buying the dog stuff out of MicroStrategy, right? Because we already know that they've been buying so much Bitcoin. I think they own at least 10% of the entire supply or something like that. I could be wrong, but they own a large percentage of the supply of Bitcoin. So know that they're going to buy it. They're going to keep this thing possibly as support. I'm thinking maybe 265. But in the short term, you can capitalize on those puts, whether they're day trades, swing trades, or whatever. As it goes down, you're going to make money. Okay. But as it goes up, if you're in calls and you got time on your position, you're going to make money too. But ultimately, in the long term, you're going to make a lot of money with MicroStrategy. Okay. So I do like this downtrend as an opportunity to buy those longer term positions. All right, let's talk about a penny stock that I mentioned on Tuesday during Penny Stock Mania with this Ocean Power Technologies. This thing did pump pretty hard. We went to about 134, 137 ish, and then it pulled back, started selling off at the close of the market on Tuesday. I keep wanting to say Friday, like today is Sunday or something like that. At any rate, we saw it pull back. We got like a little spinning top with two wicks on both ends, right? With most of the wick that's left over to the downside. So we're leaning more towards the bullish side of OPTT. Now, what I really like about this is when I zoom out. Okay, so it's a penny stock, so I don't really care if it moves right now or not. Shares are so cheap, I could really care less. But this is what really made me buy this thing. I don't know if y'all can see where my cursor is, but this price that I'm just clicking on is at $5,504.33. So when I saw that, I said, okay, wait a minute. This thing is only $1 and a few cents. I'm gonna buy 500 of them, right? Let this thing get back to its all-time highs of $5,504.33, which, by the way, it was at that price back in 2007. Okay. And it's kind of been on a downward slope since then. I don't know what happened. Maybe they had a reverse split. Not really sure. I have to do a little bit more digging about the historicals on that. Maybe just ask Chat GPT. But it went from being around $2,861 all the way up to $5,000 to now only $1. If by some chance that Ocean Power Technologies ends up becoming one of these companies that is able to harvest energy from the ocean to help power AI, or some type of uranium facility, there's some type of partnership that happens with this particular company, I think that this thing could go back to its all-time highs or even higher. So this is one of those situations where I'm almost rolling the dice. You never have to get ready if you stay ready. I'm seeing a little bit of chatter about Ocean Powers Technologies, and so I'm going to keep holding my 500 shares. I don't care if it goes back to 20 cents, 80 cents. I'll probably buy more if it goes that low. But if by some chance that they end up even mentioning that they're going to get into helping power any type of AI facility, I think that this thing's going to fly through the roof. And I don't want to miss it. And I hope you don't either. Okay. Not financial advice. Now, a few other things you really should be concerned about for the rest of this month, at least, is Delta Airlines, ticker DAL. Earnings are January the 10th. I don't fly Delta, I fly American, but I still think that this is a good, solid company. Currently, it does have a lot of support at $59.16. It's been a little consolidated lately. We've got resistance right around $61. If you go and look at Delta Airlines after hours trading right now, it's about $60.77. So it's up a little bit, probably about 0.45%. But we want to see them report some positive earnings. People have been traveling a lot more, but I see $65 and what is this, 65.46 as a realistic price target for Delta Airlines. Like I said, they have earnings January the 10th. It is listed as a strong buy with a $78 price target. You never have to get ready if you stay ready. Okay. I'm about to move a little fast. All right. So here we go. We also have AEHR. We talked about them before. Last quarter, their earnings did so well. We went from this being a penny stock to it now being trading at $16.63. We had a little bit of pullback, obviously, with most of the market. Which is a good reset. AEHR is actually down in after hours trading about 0.84% at $16.51. Expect this thing to maybe come back to about $15.97 in the near term. If it catches some support right there, I think it'll probably bounce and continue going up as we go into earnings on January the 13th. Okay, so anything after January 13th possibly will do well, but understand short term there will be a little bit of pullback, so you need to watch it closely. In fact, if you're on your own trading view, set an alert at 1643. Okay, now I'm going to move to the next one. BlackRock, ticker BLK. Earnings on January the 14th. This will basically kick off the financial earnings, like the banks and things of that nature. This is a week prior to Donald Trump being sworn as the next president of the United States. So BlackRock, if they report positive earnings, which I'm sure they will, their guidance is also probably going to be phenomenal. They're probably going to have some type of announcement to get an XRP spot ETF. They're probably going to have more details about the IBIT BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF, as well as their Ethereum spot ETF. I think all of those items, because BlackRock pretty much owns everything, we're going to see this company continue to go on an uptrend for a very long time. If they also end up saying that they're going to do a stock split, also think that that will help the company, and people will also buy some shares going into earnings, which again take place January the 14th, 2025. I think this one is one to buy, but understand that these options, number one, they are not cheap. Let's just pull that up for you so you can see them. They're not cheap, and they have a very wide bid and ask spread. So if I were to play it, I'd probably be looking at like February 21st, and you can see here we're already at $1,025. The bid is like around $39,880, and the ask is at $44,440 or $44.40, however you want to look at it. And so that's a pretty wide bid and ask spread. That's for an in the money play. Even out of the money, you're going to see a very wide spread as well. But if it does break above that $1,090 by February 21st and have these positive earnings that I'm talking about, look, you're going to make a lot of money with this play. All right, so just looking at the chart, the analyst actually called for this thing to trade around $1,153, listed as a strong buy. Again, this will be kicking off the financials on January the 14th. All right, the next one is Just Pay Me, aka JP Morgan Chase, ticker JPM. All right, now this one is currently at $2.39. I remember a time when this was around $163, right? Excuse me. It's a lot of talking, Mark. Anyway, we're going to be out of here soon. All right. JPM is consolidated right now at 239. Again, 2025 is going to be a good year for JP Morgan Chase, especially if they kind of loosen up on how they talk about crypto. I know they were creating their own, but in the event that there's something positive that happens with their relation and correlation with crypto, such as Bitcoin, we're going to see everything shift. JP Morgan could go to about 251 or even higher in 2025. It's a little bit ready to take off. It has a buy signal on the truth that came in on December the 24th, right? Christmas Eve. And hopefully it maintains itself and we see this thing continue to go up, right? We're just seeing a lot of market pullback overall. Earnings again, January the 15th. All right. And then, of course, like I said, the financials will be kicked off. You have to keep an eye on Morgan Stanley. Been on a pretty consistent downtrend for the most part lately. But again, if the BlackRock and JP Morgan earnings are really good, we're probably going to see the same for MicroStrategy. I mean, not MicroStrategy, Morgan Stanley. And that's going to be huge. We have a 128.60 price target. It does pay dividends. So if you own shares, but the forecast is relatively neutral for this. Not a lot of talk about crypto at all. But earnings that week are on January 16th. But there's also another one that morning, Taiwan Semi, TSM. And we don't want to miss this one. I think this one's going to be a huge, major factor for our semiconductors and the NASDAQ, QQQ, the whole nine, right? So they have earnings on January the 16th. Right now, Taiwan Semi is on a downtrend. We saw some really good price action on NVIDIA. And if you go take a look at Taiwan Semi tonight, it's at 198.01 and after hours trading, which is a pretty good sign. But again, if we want to position for earnings, we need to be looking at anything after the earnings date, January 16th. So that way we don't get ate up by theta, right? Our time decay. I clicked the wrong thing. Let's see. Let's open this back up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's go here, click Taiwan Semi. All right, I want to click options. So if I'm personally going to play this thing again, I'm giving myself time. I'm buying time. So February 21st or even March 21st calls. I like in the money or at the money. Price is reasonable, in my opinion. If you're looking at calls, you got enough time just in case you have to dollar cost average. Even if you grab something out of the money like that 230 call, March 21st, I think it still can move. All right, so let's talk about price points. If it does go up to the upside, we want to get confirmation of entry around 205.21. That's a test of resistance. We've rejected that level about 3 or 4 times recently. We had a high of around 212.27. A break above 209.35 will get us there. If we go above 216.27, those 230 calls that we just talked about will print. They'll print money, right? Because we'll be getting closer and closer to that strike, and we just take it before the expiration date. Now, on the flip side of that, if we fall down and go to 194.68, that's a key level of support. We have another target of 186.83. We could position for those earnings because it could happen before the earnings date. But again, Taiwan Semi is going to be a key sign of what we can expect when NVIDIA reports a few weeks later. All right. And I have two more for you. Netflix. We saw what happened with the NFL game, and now they have this quote unquote Beyonce Bowl from the halftime show on there that you can watch. We know the selection of Netflix shows and things actually, I mean, they just kind of get old, right? But now with them going into the live streaming aspect of having live sports, I think the NFL was a big thing. We saw the issues with the Tyson and Jake Paul fight. But again, I think they're still going to have phenomenal earnings. This pullback that we've been seeing on Netflix is a great sign. It's a really good sign. We wanted to pull back. We wanted to go down to at least 879, but I think we might catch some support right around 886 in the near term. But then as we get close to earnings, I think that we're going to see this thing go back over $900 and possibly go to 931, 941, 946, and then later on this year go to 955, and then we're going to possibly hear Netflix say that they're going to do a stock split. I'm thinking it's probably going to happen around the second or third quarter of 2025. I'm expecting that to happen. So if we go to over 977, we even get close to $1,000 on Netflix, $1,000 a share. I'm telling y'all, they're gonna do a stock split. Folks gonna get paid. This thing gonna run. You're gonna make a lot of money. So why not consider, right? Consider maybe grabbing a share of Netflix, even fractional shares, and just build on it. Let's see what happens, right? Because if it is they do a stock split, you have one share, and let's say they do a 10-to-1. Now you own 10 shares. It may be a little bit less what the price is now, but then we could still do other things later, right? Maybe play some different options, or maybe accumulate more shares at a cheaper price. Get 100 shares, do a cover call. You just never know, right? So it may be a great opportunity for you in the long term. But earnings again, January 21st. I don't want to miss Netflix earnings. Even if they miss, I want to make money on the upside, downside, whatever it is, round side. I want it all, right? Now, the last one I'm going to give you guys tonight is GE Veranova. I talked about them the other day. This company is going to be very important in 2025 and beyond, okay? This pullback is a lovely pullback. GE Veranova pays dividends. A very strong company. We know this part broke off from GE. So you have GE Veranova, and GE Aerospace. Okay, this is listed as a buy with a $370 price target. This is one I just wouldn't look at for a short-term play. We may have a little bit of pullback and support at 321. Earnings are January the 22nd. I'm pretty sure that those earnings may possibly have a miss, but the guidance is going to be so strong that I think that it will maintain its price or possibly even go higher. I think that we got a position now with a 354 price target as we get closer to January 22nd if it goes to the upside, right? But it's going to be critical that we watch both sides and we catch trends and not feelings on these plays. All right, so real quick before we get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and look at the futures so we can get an idea of what to expect tomorrow pre-market. So we're going to jump over here to finviz.com real quick. Currently, the VIX is at 1735, but the futures actually look pretty good. We're up 0.26% on the Dow, 0.34 on the S&P, and 0.46 on the NASDAQ. Now, I'm crazy, right? I bought some SPY calls that I'm swinging out to January 31st. I bought 10 of them. Like, what are you thinking, Mark? Anyways, I'm thinking green, right? So I'm in some 590 calls. If the S&P index does hold up at $5,956 and keep going up, man, I would love to see another 6,000 S&P. So if it does continue, my 590 calls are going to print on SPY, and it's going to make a lot of money in the process. So I like the way that the futures look. Of course, a lot of that is possibly riding on NVIDIA and technology, since those are the dominant sectors of the market. Now, let me tell you guys one more secret, right? One more gem. So I like to trade SPY, SPX, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go on TradingView, which I highly recommend you guys do that. Get us paid subscription on here, and I look at the heat maps, right? This is a little teaching segment. So what if I'm in calls, right? I want to see more green and gray than red. Now, anytime I see most of these larger market cap tickers red, then it's a problem. I probably need to be in puts. Okay. But sometimes I'll change it from looking at the daily percentage to the hourly, right? And once I see gray and a plus, then oh yeah, call's about to run, right? The less red, the better, right? Especially for those larger market cap tickers. But I play around with this stock screener, and I'm showing you this because also you can turn off the red if you want to focus on the things that are going to be good for calls. But guess what? Say Nvidia decides to go positive, right? First, you're going to see it turn gray, then it's going to go green. But once it turns green, it's on and popping like Donkey Kong, okay? But also, again, on the flip side for puts, sorry about that. Flip side for puts, you can do the same thing. You could turn these on and off, right? There, just play around with your trading view. There are a lot of great videos you can look on YouTube, but I'm trying to just drop things on here that can help. You can also look at the NASDAQ, okay? You can filter this thing to whatever it is that you want to see, okay, that you're trading. But again, I like to see the bigger picture, so this is what I do. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, I pray that this information has blessed you guys. I have enjoyed. Um, And thank you to my wife for allowing me to get on here this evening and just come up here and just bless you guys with, first of all, God's presence, and then also sharing a little bit of my mindset inside the crystal ball 2025. Make sure y'all tap in with us in the CNC. If you haven't already, you can go to my website, www.rogers1906.com. Watch any of my pre-recorded videos. By the end of this week, you got till Friday to go in here, put Batman in the comments. I'll DM you a very beautiful discount for the everything bundle. Also, you can use discount code Jesus First until January the 3rd. After that, I've got to go back up to the normal price. Because that's just how business is. So you want to be early, get there early. You could also join the CNC, right? The price of the CNC is supposed to go up. I don't own the CNC, so I can't help you guys with any of your account related issues, access issues, or anything like that. But tap in with my brother Armando Pantoja and in the Chestnut Checker group. This, make sure you read the description so you can see what it's about. There are a few comments here about it. But yeah, we would love to see you guys come to be a part of our community. Here's what it looks like. It is a Discord, right? I don't know if anybody else is doing this, showing you this kind of stuff, but you see various things in here, signals, right? Signals, things that I've done today. Then also, if you have the everything bundle, you get exclusive access to the Elite Traders channel to ask questions. We had crypto in there. We even got a little bit of conversation today and this week about insurance, right? We've been talking about index universal life insurance. And I'm going to tell you, man, I absolutely love the index universal life insurance policies that have indexing, no cap on whatever you can be paid out if you die. Also, you can borrow from it, but make sure it has a 75% floor. It applies to the rule of 72, which is your compounded interest. No, I'm not trying to sell you insurance, but make sure you go do your own research, learn about index universal life insurance policies, and use it as a savings account. And I'm telling you guys, you will be blessed by doing that about the money that you can make, because those indexed IULs that typically trade in pairs with the S&P index, they didn't fall in 2008 when the market crashed. In fact, when all the 401ks and everything was bleeding, that was one of the only type of insurance policies that made money. And guess what? This is what the rich and the wealthy don't tell you. By the way, if you want to learn more about them and how it works, I highly recommend this book, What Would the Rockefellers Do, by Garrett Gunderson, right? You need to buy this book. I'll put it close to the screen. Read it, learn a little bit more about IULs, cash flow, and how to save your money. Till next time, y'all. See y'all in the morning. Peace and God bless. Right? Make sure you keep God first and secure the bag all 2025 and beyond. I'm out of here.